So lately, I've been hearing a lot of people talk about their passion for collecting's kind of dying off. They're reevaluating their situation with buying so many movies for their collection. They're taking a look at their collection and saying, "Why do I have all this?" And it seems like the passion to buy movies on a weekly basis, or however often people buy it, is starting to kind of dwindle down a bit for various reasons. So yesterday I was online and I seen someone talk about how they feel about movie collecting right now. And I said, okay, let me give this a quick read. I seen there was 116 comments. So the topic was pretty interesting to me because I've been kind of feeling that way after looking at 2024. I went back through all the releases and I'm like, man, I barely bought any new releases in 2024. Most of what I purchased was stuff from previous that I needed to go back and grab. So, this conversation was very interesting to me as I read through it. So I said, you know what, why not make a video out of this? And let's go over what the original post said, and then we'll reflect on what some of the comments said. So the poster he put, is anybody else in a weird position where you have pretty much every movie and show that you want on 4K, Blu-ray, 3D, and DVD to the point that your collection is essentially complete? My buying habits have changed tremendously over the past few years. I don't blind buy anything anymore, and I only buy movies and shows that I know for a fact I will rewatch every so often. There are a few movies that I would like to see get 4K releases and will definitely buy once they come out. But otherwise, I have gone from buying anything that looks mildly interesting to just adding movies to my collection on an individual basis. I'm not even upset about it. I mostly feel content. It's just weird how much my approach has changed. Man, that kind of sums up how I've been feeling over at least the past year and a half. It's got to the point now where I'm more interested in catalog releases than new releases, especially if I just saw it in the movie. It had to just really hit for me to be like, okay, I'm grabbing this day one. Can't wait. Other than that, it's mostly catalog titles that I'm interested in. So a lot of my buying has really dwindled down to, what I truly want, especially looking at the collection and saying, man, a lot of this stuff, I'm not rewatching. I don't even want to rewatch it. When I go through my collection and say, you know what, let me watch a movie, a lot of this stuff I pull out and I'm just like, don't want to watch this, don't want to watch this. And I go to the old faithfuls that I really love. So it's like, why do I even have all this? I need to slow down on buying this stuff. But let's get into some of these comments. So Oreos Met says, I don't really view 4K movies or something I need to constantly buy. More that I buy movies I want as they release. They are not Pokemon cards. I don't have to grab them all. That had 173 upvotes. And that is true. They really aren't something that you really don't have to have them all. Now, everybody has their various reasons on why they buy, whether or not they want a complete collection of something, whether it's a certain studio, a label, a franchise, whether or not you like all the movies in the franchise. You just feel like you got to complete the collection because you've got half of them, so why not get the other half? There's just various reasons we all do this. Me, for instance, I'm at a point now, I'm definitely only buying what I truly want to buy. Fatboy 5289 says, exactly, it's nice to watch a movie in the theater and go, oh yeah, this is one I will need to add to my 4K collection. So that was in response to Oreo Metz's post. So I love colonoscopy. Boy, these names are crazy. He says, I started buying physical media just a couple months ago after being dissatisfied with streaming services. At first, I just wanted to get around a dozen of my favorite that I rewatch yearly. Now at around 60, I'm ordering more every other day, which feels an emptiness in my soul. Yeah, so streaming services, man, that's a tough one because there are a lot of titles that look good. Netflix, I think, is one of the better. Of course, Apple Plus is probably, the top service to get the best audio, best picture quality. But Netflix is not that bad. I think Disney is one of the worst. Well, I mean, other than them having the IMAX Marvel stuff, I think Disney they're okay. I think the worst is probably HBO Max. You guys, the audio on HBO Max is completely horrendous, especially when they go to like ads and stuff. The volume is so low on it. I don't know what they be doing, but HBO Max is not a very great streaming service. Wanderer Arcom Arkham Knight says, I'm pretty much there. I don't see myself buying anything until mid-year at least, unless something new I like is announced. Only thing I would get is BBC Earth Asia or whenever that comes out. Now those are always a great pickup when you talk about 4K and want reference quality. Any of those BBC documentaries, man, if you really just enjoy picture quality and just want to see the best that you can get out of your TV, your 4K player, and just really want to show somebody what 4K is all about, pop in one of those Earth documentaries that showcases the different places around the world, man. It is amazing what you can see off those discs. Nightmare, I think it's 3342, says, I only collect movies that I have seen and enjoy. I also only collect for my favorite genre, which is horror sci-fi, or horror thriller. For me, everything else isn't worth it because it's what I really enjoy the best, and I also do not blind buy. Now, blind buying is something that, I hear a lot of people like to make those videos on YouTube. This was a blind buy, or, give me something I should pick up that I haven't seen. Now, blind buys aren't always a bad thing. It's just, it comes down to the price of that blind buy. You want something to be worth your money. So the thing about a blind buy is you don't know what you're going to get. But sometimes it's good to have that when you're like a YouTuber content creator, having your viewers say, you should check this out, and you decide to go ahead and go buy it and give it a watch and see if you like it or not. Taste is always subjective, so we're not always going to like the same movies. So anything I can say, man, I absolutely love this movie, doesn't mean that the person that I tell to watch this movie for the first time is going to enjoy it the same way I did, especially if it's something from, like the 80s or something. Emotional Ferret 1138 says, I've always approached it like this: buy only what I know I'd rewatch. There are a few titles that I bought because I've liked the artwork. Okay, fair enough. That's a different conversation. The artwork collectors, I don't quite understand it, but as I've said earlier, everybody has their reasons on why they buy it, whether that's packaging, special features, audio quality. It's totally different for every collector. Some people just really enjoy that artwork and packaging, and that's their deciding factor on whether or not they're going to pick up that new steel book that might have the same 4K disc that the slipcover came out with a year or a couple months ago. All right, next one says, I don't see the name. It says, I think this is normal. I tend to be very selective now too. Oftentimes the digital version on Apple, like I just said, is good enough for me, especially when they upgrade my titles to 4K. To buy something, it needs to have high rewatch value. I also don't want to amass a hoard of things I need to get rid of when the next shiny new things come along. Exactly. Double buying, man. That's another one I don't quite really get. I don't really double up on anything. Like, Nightmare on Elm Street was the first thing in a long time I bought the slipcover and the steel book at the same time because I absolutely love that movie. That's one of my favorite franchises. My favorite horror character is Freddy Krueger, so it was a no-brainer that we finally got Nightmare on Elm Street on 4K, so I bought both of them. But that's a much different subject. Some people, like I said in a previous video, only buy 4Ks. I don't want to buy Blu-rays because I already bought them before, so I don't want to go back and buy them again. I feel like I'm double dipping on titles that I already got. Or eventually, as soon as I buy that Blu-ray, here comes the announcement for the 4K for it. Future Squirrel says, I wouldn't say losing the bug, but more that I have achieved more or less complete satisfaction with regards to my catalog of collecting. I have about 1,400 Blu-rays in my collection, which include most of the movies that have meant something to me over the past 40 years. There's a handful I still await, and probably some I have forgotten about, but I did just grab the odd new release now if I really like it or missed it in the cinema, and know that I will enjoy it. Yeah, I mean, that's where I hear a lot of people are just, buy what you truly enjoy, man. And anybody that's coming into content creating in YouTube, it is so easy to get caught up in the, oh man, I have to buy something weekly to make a video. I have to buy this because it's the hot title that, everybody's anticipating. Even though I feel like I don't really want it, or I should wait to grab it, I gotta grab it for YouTube. Don't let YouTube influence your buying habits. Regardless or not, you're gonna get the views that you deserve to get. People are gonna come to your channel if they really enjoy your content, regardless of the title. Do not let yourself get into the habit of spending money just to do a video, unless you can afford it, of course. Someone says I'm always just 1 or 2 away from. Let's see, let's keep this going real quick. I don't want to keep this video too much longer. Melvin Ford says, I am definitely more into buying than I have been for a while, but I'm also in the process of trying to discover what is important in 4K and what is okay in Blu-ray. For a minute I felt like I had to upgrade everything, and now I realize that it's probably not needed. Now for anybody that's venturing right into 4K, I will say yes, definitely get online into some of these forums on bluray.com, Reddit, or even like ADS forum or somewhere like that, because there are people that have like spreadsheets and can direct you to different sites where people like to let others know, hey, this 4K is worth the upgrade. They do like screen caps, Capsaholic and stuff like that. That gives you a very good insight without having to watch a YouTube video and, you know, find out whether this Blu-ray, this 4K is worth the upgrade over the Blu-ray and such, and what's native, what's not native. Of course, you can always go to bluray.com to find that out, but there are different avenues of finding out, hey, is this 4K really worth it, without going to YouTube and hoping that this person's video is truthful. Let's do one more. My approach is, if I don't already own it and the 4K exists, I buy the 4K. Yeah, that kind of goes back to what I said. Like, that's why I don't want to go back and buy Blu-rays that I've once owned, because I feel like most of them that I really love eventually will come to 4K, because I'm an action guy. So I know most of these action movies are coming to 4K. It's just having patience to wait on my favorites to finally come. You know, if I really want to watch it, I'm fine with just throwing it on a streaming site and giving it a watch, because I really enjoy the movie. So it's not all about the, oh, I have to watch it in the best quality. No, I just enjoy the movie, and I'm gonna have a great experience no matter how I watch this movie. So I'm totally fine with being patient and waiting on titles like The Rock, Armageddon, Gone in 60 Seconds, Broken Arrow to come to 4K. I know it's gonna happen. It's just, the question is when, but it's definitely coming. But you guys, that is the video, man. You guys sound off in the comment section on YouTube and let me know, what are your thoughts with collecting right now in 2025? I know for me, there aren't many titles so far that's announced that I feel like are day one for me, but sound off in the comment section. Let me know, since 2024 heading into 2025, we're halfway through the first month of 2025. Let me know what your thoughts are with collecting going forward 2025 and beyond, whether or not you're slowing down. There's so many titles coming out that you can't keep up with the pre-orders, or how you're balancing out your collecting habits. Sound off in the comment section and let me know. It's your boy 4K D Ray. This is The Last Format. We go.